Hello there. Welcome to Tyler's Travels. My name is Elaine Womack, and we're about to go on a journey through Habitat for Humanity. You know, sometimes in life you meet interesting people that have a great journey. Well, we are going to meet Tyler Spring today, and he's going to tell us about his travels and his Habitat for Humanity. Tyler, tell us what's going on now with your life.
All right. So currently, I am an AmeriCorps service member working in association with Habitat for Humanity. AmeriCorps does all sorts of things as far as education and construction, community building, all that good stuff. And so I'm mostly doing the construction and community building parts of that as an AmeriCorps with Habitat for Humanity.
And you know, as a teacher, I've heard about AmeriCorps, but never with this type of field. But you know
Right.
what? We have a PSA that could enlighten our viewers a little bit about what AmeriCorps could do. So
Yeah.
why don't we watch that PSA right now, and then we'll talk about it.
Fantastic.
Before I started with AmeriCorps, I worked in retail management. I just needed something different. I felt that I wasn't fulfilled in doing what I was doing. And this gives me great joy and fulfillment, being able to see the people that I'm actually helping. I'm serving in Northeast Monmouth County in New Jersey. And what I do, I work with volunteers who come to work with Habitat on the volunteer site. We're serving Long Branch, Red Bank, helping Sandy recovery victims. Some still are staying with families, trying to figure out what they're going to do, how to piece their lives back together. The best part about my job is helping the homeowners. There are so many people that need help that they feel like they've been left behind. They'll say that if it wasn't for Habitat, they don't know what they would do. Everything else that I've done in my life up until this point is almost irrelevant because it was self-gratifying. But this, being able to pour myself into other people and just give of myself, this is the most rewarding experience that I've had. Habitat and AmeriCorps gave me a sense of purpose because now I know that there's more to life than just what I need and what I want. There's always someone out there that needs something that I can give. The homeowners that I work with, they don't understand it either because every time I finish a job for the day, I'll tell them thank you. And then they say, why are you thanking me? You're helping me. I said, I think I get more out of this than you do.
What I love about that, it says, I get more out of this than they do. And that seems so true. So tell me what's going on now. So the AmeriCorps is part of the general United States. So tell me, how did you get into AmeriCorps?
A few years ago, I did a trip with Habitat for Humanity into Vietnam, actually. And so with that, me and about 18 other volunteers all went overseas to Vietnam to build two homes for two very hardworking, deserving families working in factories and rice fields around there. So it was just an amazing experience. And yeah, that's more or less how I got involved.
And we'll look at some great slides that you have from Vietnam, but was it some part of a high school program? I mean, how did you hear about it?
It was my mom, actually. My mom is pretty good family friends with some of the people that work in the Habitat Greater San Francisco office, and so that's how she found out about this opportunity and told me about it. And I said, "That sounds awesome. Can I come with you?"
And the fact you did it, that's pretty brave, you know, as a young man, that's
Oh.
pretty brave.
Well, what else am I going to do for my spring break, you know?
Well, some people go to Mexico, but that's
Oh.
another story. Why don't we look at some of those slides of your journey to Vietnam, and then we can
Absolutely.
talk about where you went from there.
Absolutely.
So let's look at a few of the slides, and you could tell us about them. How's
Fantastic.
that sound?
Sounds great.
That sounds great. Let's
All
do
right.
that.
All right. So where we did the building was is if you see this map of Vietnam here, it's pretty much like right when that really skinny coastline comes up and blossoms a little bit. So we were working right around there, but we flew into Hanoi, which is like right in that little bay up along the top northern part of the country. But yes, we stayed in mostly the northern region of the country. Yes. Is there more pictures of the slides? Oh, fantastic. This is actually pictures, or a picture of the house that we built. One of them. There was two that, the other one, they both looked exactly like this. Obviously, it's not quite finished yet, but this is just the crew of us Habitat volunteers overseas. It's made of brick, so it's a good insulator, so it keeps the cold air in when it's hot, and it keeps the hot air in when it's cold. And so, but before this house, like, it might seem a little lacking compared to our standards here, but I mean, before this family had like a straw roof and like straw walls and everything. One room with two beds in it. It was a family with kids and everything. They have an outhouse, pretty much where the camera is right now, about 10 feet behind where the camera was standing. They have their outhouse out there, and that's the way they live over there.
Wow,
It's a different world over there. But so we actually stayed in a nice hotel though, which is seen in this picture here. That's just more of the crew just kind of sitting out after. This was after a long day's work where we were just sitting in the front lobby, relaxing. The hotel staff there was just amazingly friendly and hospitable. They cooked us every breakfast and dinner. We had lunch on the build site, but this hotel was just amazing. I remember one night we actually had like a dance party in there. A bunch of not the homeowners, but a lot of the homeowners' close friends and family, they brew or distill, I'm not sure what the word is, their own rice wine, so we had a party drinking some of that in this lobby here, dancing around and stuff. But it was just a great way to spend an evening after a hard day's work.
Well, let's look at some more pictures, though. I think you had a few more up there.
I think I got
to look at.
Few more.
Oh,
up
here
there,
we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of hard day's work.
Of course, a hard day's work. Sometimes when you're just exerting yourself physically for just hours on end every day, sometimes you just need an impromptu nap. Whether it's on a bed of gravel, resting over a bed frame, or in a nice hotel bed. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta take advantage of the flat surface and zone out for your lunch break. And then this here, so this is actually like right next to where that bed frame was. But I just love this picture because I just get it's just so reminiscent of the time I spent there. These school kids, every day when they were done with school, they would ride by us, and a lot of these kids are learning English, and so they would practice their English on us, and it was always just such a great time of the day when we'd be building, and we'd just start hearing like the little bike bells ringing, and then we hear hello, and it was just so great, and just these kids are just so friendly and so a reflection of just the community that Vietnam has as a whole. Like they're just a very welcoming and hospitable and warm people. It was when I was there, it almost seemed like the war never happened. It was never frowned upon or anything. It was all just like smiles and welcome and really, really a heartwarming place.
Wow, that
And
sounds
I think
great.
that picture embodies this. And this here is just a picture of the job site taken from higher up, but you can see some of like the pretty rice fields in the background where a lot of the local families worked. And it's just a beautiful place. I think this does a nice job of just kind of showing the nice, flatter regions of the country, but it is quite mountainous in others. But it takes a lot of water to grow a lot of rice. But
speaking of water,
one of
wow.
the just absolutely most gorgeous places in the entire world is right here, this place called Ha Long Bay, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world, or I don't know if it is, but if it's not, it definitely should be, because there is just nothing like it. It's just got these huge rocks just jutting out of the water, and it to me it looks like just there's some large sea dragons swimming underneath it, just constantly reminding you that it's there, but not attacking. So this is one of the perks of going on this trip with Habitat for Humanity, is they kind of just buried that little cruise around Ha Long Bay in there. But truly just a beautiful, beautiful place.
What a great experience for you, and it's probably just it's implanted, as you can tell from what you're talking about. It's in your brain. You're never going to forget that, Tyler.
Never.
And I love the mythical creatures, the dragons. A very
Oh, yeah.
fun character,
Big
creature to think about.
Fantasy nerd myself.
Yeah.
So.
So you came back here to the States and you went to college.
Right.
Then what happened?
Well, so I graduated from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Go Buffs. And so I graduated with a degree in psychology and speech, language, and hearing sciences. And the careers and jobs that people with those degrees often go into, there's just so many of them. It's a very diverse degree. And so I didn't really have anything lined up afterwards, like internships. I was working part-time all the way through college. And so I graduated, and then I wanted to take a little bit more time to myself to figure out what it is that I actually want to do, how I can contribute to the world. And so this opportunity, again, my wonderful mother enlightened me of this wonderful opportunity to apply as an AmeriCorps working with Habitat. You know, she's a very involved community member, so she hears about these kinds of things all the time. But you know, both she and my dad said, you know, when you're taking this time to figure out what it is you want to do, because you got to do something eventually. You know, why not just do something where you can learn new skills, give back to the community, do some good, and yeah, just help inspire communities to thrive and just feel safe and comfortable. So.
Well, that's great. And AmeriCorps is a really fascinating company because it's funded by the federal government.
Right.
They use it in the forest. They use it for schools. They have a senior corps. I mean, it's all over the place, and
Right.
thousands and thousands of people are part of it. So thanks to that.
Yeah.
And thanks to your mom.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Thank
no.
you, Mom. Anyway, let's continue. So let's put you now into the role of a habitat guy. So why don't we, I don't know, we got a couple pictures that show you out there working hard, right? Shall we
All
look
right.
at those pictures of you working for the habitat? That
Yeah,
sound
absolutely.
good?
Let's pull
And then
those
you
up.
could tell us a little bit about what you're doing on the
Oh,
job.
fantastic. I would
Okay,
love to.
great.
All right. So this here is our build site that we're currently working on. It's really more to the in the picture. It's to the left in a doorway, but we're working outside. We're taking advantage of the sunlight here. We just have a bunch of different tools out there. It looks like I'm about to cut a piece of wood for this picture, but you can see we got a chop saw, some drill guns, and some other tools just kind of scattered here and there. Like I think there's a skill saw in there probably. There's probably a sander in there somewhere, but it really is just great, like learning how to use all of these different power tools to construct something. Do we have more pictures of more tools?
I think we do.
Or
there
hopefully
we
not
go.
of
Oh,
me.
well, now
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you doing there?
Okay,
Hey?
so that's my boss, or my supervisor rather. We follow orders from the Habitat Greater San Francisco office, but this is my project supervisor. He just he's been in the construction business for years, so he knows what he's doing, and imparting his wisdom onto me, teaching me these skills, making sure everything goes smoothly and everything's up to code. But yeah, in that picture, we're just kind of posing, holding tools at each other threateningly. But no, we have a very good working relationship. We're very friendly with each other, and yeah. See, this is more like what we do is we just kind of like smile and hold tools at each other. I think the camera person just said, hold something and smile, and so that's that picture there. But this is just a nice shot of the church that we're currently working on. It's got a big congregation. I think it's over 200 people, so it really is wonderful to know that the work that I will be doing is going to be affecting at least 200 people who attend this church every week. But yeah, we're building up their kitchen currently, actually, and because big church, they want to do a lot more with their events and everything. They want to have a yoga class in this big community room that we're working on. We're building up the kitchen so that they can have potlucks and other festivities that just of course, I think summer camps is something that they want to do too, and so got to feed the children, right? So.
Well, I think it's great that you're working in the East Palo Alto area. I know there's a lot of rebuilding and cleaning up and fixing up the houses over there. So what's going on in East Palo Alto?
Right. So we're working on this church, but we've also worked on other people's homes. Like we do, Habitat does this thing. I think different associates and affiliates call it different things, but we call it building blocks, and that's where we do. Where we repair 5 homes in 3 days. So over the course of a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, numerous volunteers from numerous companies and just all over the Bay Area came and participated in helping repair these homes. And it's building blocks because it all takes place on one block, right? It's the part of the neighborhood revitalization branch of the program. Like a lot of people, when they think of Habitat, they think of building homes from the ground up, which we're definitely doing. But my specific branch, we're really going into homes, churches, schools, just big community places, and providing critical repairs for things that may need it.
That's fantastic. I love that. And that what makes people stay in their homes then, so they don't have to move out of the Bay Area, because it's quite of a very hard to purchase any kind of home in this area.
Right. That's actually one of the major problems that we're addressing is so to do these home repairs, the homeowners, they have to own the home for one thing, and so that makes working in East Palo Alto relatively difficult because a lot of these homes, we suspect anyway, are rented. So that's there's not much we can do about that, but for the homeowners, we really try and go in to their homes and bring them up to code, because they can get kicked out if their buildings or homes aren't up to code. Earthquake safety and insurance rather. But so the homeowners have to own the home for one thing, and we really focus on families and people that have been in their neighborhoods for years and years. Like we've helped one woman. She's been living in her house for 60 years, and that house has been in the same area in Bayview. Bayview's the other neighborhood we work in. We work in primarily East Palo Alto and the Bayview in San Francisco. But this one woman has been living in the Bayview for 60 years, and her brother's trying to kick her out of this place. Actually, it's a pretty sad story. But so we're going through and doing all these critical home repairs so that she can stay in there for the rest of her life.
What a gift! What a gift you're giving. So I want to talk about a little about the skills that you're learning. But
absolutely.
I think one of our esteemed photographers went out and filmed you working. So let's see what Sue filmed for us, showing you at work. Let's see if we can see a video of you.
Let's see what we got.
Get out your.
All right, so we just built a kick here for the counter, the island in the middle here, and the whole point is to elevate the counter a few inches. It meets regulations for counter height, and we're going to put the stoves on here, and yeah, this is what we're currently working on.
So Tyler, tell us what skills now you're going to take from this experience. What can you do now? Right. Well, oh my, there's a lot of things that I'm learning through this program. For one thing, probably the one thing that we've done the most of is painting. We do a lot of painting, but that's a lot harder than some might think, because you got to like tape off the important areas like light switches and outlets and things. So painting is a major one. Cutting wood is another one, or cutting wood and hammering and nailing and screwing wood to all the right places it needs to go. I think in that video there, I had just done all of those things, and I was screwing a piece of wood to another wood to make a stand for the counter we were working on, because
It can't be too low, it can't be too high, so we built a stand for it. But a lot of woodwork, carpentry. That's the word I'm looking
Carpentry.
for.
And speaking of, you have all your tools
Oh
and your
yes,
tool belts
all the
back
tools
here,
in the
right?
background here. Absolutely. But so a lot of carpentry, hammering nails, saws. We have chop saws behind us. We have table saws behind us. We have a skill saw, which is essentially like a chop saw that can move. Hammering, nailing. Another cool skill I learned was I can extend one electrical outlet into multiple outlets. So if you're ever short for power in a room, I'm the guy that can come in and put an outlet in one corner and put it into another corner. So
That's great.
didn't learn how to hook it up to the electrical box, but I still think it's a cool skill learning how to put one outlet or make one outlet into two outlets in one room.
So if you'd had a hammer, you'd hammer in the morning. Anyway, let's move on. So pretty soon your AmeriCorps is going to be ending. What's your
Right.
goal after this? Now you have how many more months, perhaps?
I think my year of service will officially be done in early August.
Okay. So what happens after that?
I'm actually kind of working that out still,
Okay.
believe it or not. But yeah, this is a great experience to have as far as leadership goes in construction. But I've had my taste and fill of construction, and I'm not exactly sure it's for me long term. But I'm really happy to be a part of this program for what I'm doing now for my year of service. But afterwards, I want to take these skills and potentially build my own house, or at least have the skills to maintain my own house. And as far as the leadership skills go, I mean, leadership can take you anywhere. So I'm still kind of working that out. But hopefully a Google search or LinkedIn search or two will get me a job when I'm done with this year of service here. But
vital things that you learned in this service that you've been doing for the community and the world. So we did find a PSA, a public service announcement, that talked about Habitat for Humanity. Let's watch
fantastic.
that, and then you can maybe help the audience see how they could help out down the road.
I would love
Let's
to.
watch that one.
Yeah, let's check it out.
What will you build? What will be your legacy? How will you make the world a better place? If you're searching for an answer to these questions, Habitat for Humanity can help. It's a curious thing, thought Habitat for Humanity. We build houses and something more, something extraordinary. A Habitat build site is where laying one foundation can transform a neighborhood, where painting a room colors an entirely new outlook on life, where installing a window offers a clearer vision of the future, where renovating a home can renew a community, where setting a level can balance a life. You see, Habitat for Humanity builds houses and so much more. So what will you build? Visit habitat.org to learn more.
Just get
That's a good thing. What will you build? And you're going to build a new life. That's great, Tyler.
Let's hopefully.
So if people want to get involved, like corporations, what would they do?
Well, that's funny because a lot of companies and corporations actually sign a bunch of their employees up to go and volunteer. One built it that we have is Habitat Terrace in Daly City, and I've worked there a few times. But we've had all sorts of different companies like banks and tech companies all come in and they have their company shirts that often say company name gives back. But it's just great. They all love it. They all get to know each other on a different level that they might not get to just in the everyday office setting. So it's really great to see how the employees all bond with each other, as well as they definitely do feel like they're doing some good by giving back to the community. And they always say oh, this is such a great cause and everything. But if your company does not sign you up for such things, however, and if you just want to contribute by your own means, we do have a website, which is Habitat GSF, as in Greater San Francisco, .org. Again, that's habitatgsf.org. And there's all sorts of like links that can give you more information about Habitat's mission, the different kinds of things that they're doing as far as projects go, and outreach and everything. There is also a link to our volunteer hub page, which is where volunteers can go and sign up for going to any one of our builds, construction, revitalization sites throughout the Bay Area.
It is so great because I know so many of the Silicon Valley companies ask their employees to give back to the community. And so this is a great way to give back,
Absolutely.
right? And I love that the companies all get involved and want to share their, give back, as you said, give back to the world.
Yeah.
So what a great gift that people are giving, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, so you want to look at something else in your life down the road? Are you considering other types of careers for your Tyler's Travels? Where are you going to go next?
I think so. Well, another reason why I did this whole AmeriCorps thing was because I was really looking into the Peace Corps, actually. But I was kind of a little late to jump on that application process because I also applied for Teach for America as well. But that didn't go as well as planned. But so teaching is something that I'm actually definitely considering going along down the road. And I'd say I'm definitely learning a lot of leadership skills that a teacher needs to have through this organization, learning how to manage volunteers and things. But I hear you're a school teacher.
Yes, and I have been teaching for many, many years. It's a wonderful profession, and we have a lot of AmeriCorps Teach for America
Really?
at our school at this moment. So it's kind of cool to have it kind of all wrap around, AmeriCorps,
Yeah.
Teach for America. And as I say, they're all over the place, AmeriCorps. So we have to thank the federal agency of the United States that brought this to us.
Right.
So we know what, running out of time.
Oh.
It's time to go on to our next traveling
All right.
adventure. And I want to thank you very much, Tyler Spring, for being here
Oh, it
with
was
us today.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I look forward to seeing what you're going to build next.
Oh my.
And again, my
We'll
name is
see.
Elaine Womack, and I hope that you folks tune back into our next show, and we'll find out what it is. So thank you so much for being with us today.
All right. Thanks for having me. I think that went pretty well though.